Last week in Sunday school, we began to learn the story of the prodigal son and how despite the mistakes that he made, his father still freely welcomed him home and gave him forgiveness, even a party and gifts. But there's another person in the story who was not so free to forgive. The older brother who stayed home and worked hard and spent his money wisely, didn't understand why his younger brother, who had made all these mistakes, was getting such a grand reward when he came home. And the older brother didn't understand. He was frustrated, he was angry, he was thinking to himself, I've done everything right and I'm not getting anything, but he's done everything wrong and he's getting a big party. It didn't make sense to him, and he didn't want to forgive his brother for the mistakes that he had made. And what we're going to learn today in Sunday school is that sometimes when we don't forgive other people, we're the ones who end up missing out. We miss the relationship that we would have had with that person because we're choosing not to forgive them. And this kind of reminds me of when I was younger and my sister and I would love to play volleyball together outside. You can't play volleyball alone, you need at least one other person to play with you. But sometimes my sister and I would get in arguments, we would get in fights, and it would take us a little bit of time to forgive one another. And during that time when we were not forgiving, we also weren't playing volleyball because I was mad and I didn't want to play with her. And she was mad and she didn't want to forgive me for whatever I had done. And we were missing out on the time together and the enjoyment that we got out of playing together. And so what we're going to learn in Sunday school today is that it's important to consider what you're going to miss when you choose not to forgive someone, what you're going to miss from that relationship, what you're going to miss for yourself. You're not only hurting the other person that you're choosing not to forgive, you're hurting yourself and you're missing out when you choose not to forgive. Will you pray with me? Dear God, thank you for showing us how to forgive. Help us to choose forgiveness so we don't miss out on all the gifts this life has to offer. Amen.